Yo, my brother.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
So today we'll be talking about marketing.
Marketing.
Right.
Okay.
So can you tell us a little bit about marketing?
A little bit about marketing. There's a lot to say about marketing.
Let's say, what is marketing in the first place?
What is marketing?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are several definitions of marketing. I mean, but in its simplest form, for one who does not have a marketing background, marketing is the process of identifying a problem and coming up with a solution.
Yep.
Producing a solution, manufacturing a solution in the form of a product or a service, and then exchanging that solution with a target market for mutual benefit.
Yeah.
So the business or the producer as one side of, the value exchange, relationship stands something to gain.
Yeah.
And then the consumer or the customer on the other side of the value exchange relationship also has something to gain. There are a lot of misconceptions out there about marketing. A lot of people think that marketing is all about selling. Marketing is all about advertising. So sometimes people like to take a very unserious approach to marketing. Even when discussing marketing. When you go somewhere, you say, "Oh, I have a business administration degree and I specialize in marketing." People tend to see you as unserious as compared to those who specialize in accounting.
Exactly.
And my argument has always been that marketers are the reason why the business even exists.
Exactly.
Because in the formation of the business, in the conceptualization of the formation of the business, you first of all need to identify a problem in the market.
Yeah.
And then you identify the problem in the market by conducting market research. You come up with a solution, and that solution is developed taking insights from the market. So before the accountant goes in to look at, the figures, how much money is coming in, balance brought down, balance carried forward, and all of that, the marketer's job had already started with the initial research.
Yeah.
So marketing is very strategy oriented. It is not just about selling, and it's not just about advertising.
Exactly.
Marketing goes beyond that. So marketing is the backbone of every organization.
Yeah, I do agree on that, because even if you look at let's see the evolution of marketing over time, right? You go all the way back. You talk about a certain stage of our civilization. You can see how marketing has changed. It started from the barter trade system, where as you said, it was basically like, I have a good, you have another thing, let's change. And that's
exchange,
right? And it came, and as we grew as a civilization, there was more, added value to the whole thing. Now there's even psychology involved in marketing in that sense, right? Where marketing has grown over time. You look at all these Western countries and everything, they invest millions of dollars into marketing. If you look at this NFL halftime show that happened, right? Apparently, if you want to have a space in it, you have to pay like close to $7 million.
Yeah.
Just to do that. People don't understand the value of that. Yeah. Especially, let's say, in these parts of where we are, right?
Yeah.
What, as a Ghanaian, and you being in the space of marketing, right? What have you seen that you think should change in our way of, let's say, dealing with the aspect of marketing?
Okay. So, the parent discipline of marketing is psychology.
Yeah.
When you look into the marketing literature, you realize that a lot of the theories in marketing, concepts, frameworks, are all frameworks, concepts, theories that were borrowed from psychology.
Yeah.
Why? It's because it has everything to do with what? Human behavior.
Consumer behavior.
Yes. Yeah. Marketing will say consumer behavior.
Yeah.
How is the consumer thinking? What goes into the decision making of the consumer?
Exactly.
how sophisticated is the consumer when the consumer is confronted with several options to choose from? What does the consumer need at a particular point in time to get their issues resolved? So it's a lot of things coming together.
Yeah.
And I realized that our approach to marketing for a lot of businesses that are failing now, especially in Ghana, is the fact that we do not give a lot of credence to research.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Yeah.
Research.
Yeah.
Businesses or business owners shouldn't take decisions because they feel that this is what I need to do.
I understand. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
There's a reason why you should have a billboard, Ashiashi.
Yeah.
And it should be strategically positioned in a certain way.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you should have an elderly woman on the billboard instead of a little girl. There's a reason why you are deciding on which location to have your outlet. There's a reason why it should be there. And when you look into research, you look into the marketing literature, and I hate it when people say, oh, when the PhD, I'm doing a PhD in marketing.
Yeah.
People say, oh, the PhD people or the university people are all about the theories. And people try to distinguish between theory and practical. The point is, theory is a guide to practice.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm saying that this is how things should be done, and I've conceptualized it into a framework, into a model, the only thing it means is that model has to be applied.
Exactly.
Practically.
Exactly.
So if you are telling me that, for example, in marketing, we have something we call trade area analysis. Before a business decides that they want to, have an outlet in a particular area, that business needs to scope that area to see how viable the area is for its target market.
Yeah.
So you come to concepts like segmentation, targeting, positioning, the STP model.
Yeah.
You come to the Ansoff metric. You come to the BCG metric. You come to all these theories, and then people tell you that, oh, this is just book. This is just book. This is just book. No. Businesses should start accepting the fact that things like SWOT analysis are very key.
Very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses?
Exactly.
What are the opportunities out there? What are the threats out there in the market?
Yeah.
So I think that it's a problem. A lot of businesses just complain about, and people are not buying, and it's a problem. Have you done your research? How effective was your research? What was the methodology you used in collecting data from the market? And how well are you using the insights to come up with an offering that is compelling in the market, that is competitive in the market?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the biggest challenge for people right now.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that because I worked as a consultant. I think I had this project in Kumasi, and we used to work with small businesses, right? So we go into the business and we try and find most of their problem, and almost 80% of that is mainly marketing. And their problem is, as you said, lack of research. You said you want to enter into a business or do start a business, have a startup, and they just they're what do you call it? Enthusiastic into starting these things, right? Without doing any research. You're like, oh, if I put this and this together, it will get me this. But you don't know your market. You don't know how people respond to your product. You don't know all these things. As you said, the SWOT. They don't know all these things, right? And just end up, and they realize that they are stuck at a point where they can actually scale up. Because they've not done the research to know that, okay, because eventually family and friends will buy first. They'll start doing, they'll support you. But if you want to scale up to a point where you know that this is sustainable, they get stuck. And they don't even know how to go about it to make sure they put themselves in a position where they are moving to the next level, right? And there's lack of, again, investment. And if you look at their budgets and what they put, they have the budget for production, budget for this, but budget for marketing, it's just word of mouth. And in this day and age, it's not going to go anywhere. And this is the case where people should learn how to do proper research. Or even if you don't learn, hire people to do the proper research for you.
Yeah.
That's why there are people like you who are there. Do this, okay, maybe if I do it in a certain way, it will get me this result. And here lies the case where we are in a situation where I don't think do we even have. I'm not seeing this. There's a lot of businesses that go all the way up like this and just fall down. And you realize there's no relatability with their consumers at the end of the day, and they move on quickly. And it's happening to a lot of Ghanaian businesses. All these we rarely have businesses that have been around for God knows how, less 20 years. Even like these consumer businesses and all that, they get to a point and they fall. And if you go deep down into, you realize that it's a marketing problem. It's always a marketing problem where you don't redefine yourself, you don't redefine, or even, let's say, for lack of a better word, entice your consumers to be able to buy more. Because then consumers are people, we get tired easily.
Yeah.
So you need to constantly entice them, in that sense. So how should people, what should people do to go about that in that sense? Where you're constantly making sure, like,
See, human beings change.
Very.
I don't think that you were the same as you are today.
Oh, no.
Even 6 months back.
Exactly.
So a lot of the things that businesses fail to acknowledge is the fact that, especially if you are, as a business, or as an industry, as a business, you are in an industry that has an expanding market.
Yeah.
You should understand that market is very prone to, rapid change. Technology has become a very positive tool, but has become also a very negative, factor for businesses that refuse to change.
Yeah.
You remember that when everybody got hooked onto the whole Android technology, and Nokia said, no, we are holding on to our Symbian technology, Symbian operating system.
BlackBerry, the same.
Everybody said, please move. The world is going Android now. They said no. What happened to Nokia?
They eventually evolved. Huh?
Exactly.
They are now coming small, but it's too late. Everybody's gone.
It's late. Samsung has taken the lead. So, look at businesses that started. If you look back in time, early 2000s, businesses, fast food businesses, like Papaya,
Mr. Biggs, you remember Mr. Biggs?
All of them. These are businesses that started with a strategy where they had landed outlets. So if you don't go to Tesano, you will not get the Papaya.
Exactly.
Then consumers started becoming very sophisticated, and they were like, no, I want convenience. I need soft life. I want to order food and the food is brought to me at home.
Yeah.
What did some businesses do who sell food? They introduced delivery system because they realized that the marketing element of place had now moved from just the brick and mortar to electronic and digital forms of access.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, you had businesses evolving. And if you do not evolve in that direction, you are going to be left behind.
Papaya is a very good example.
Exactly.
It's a very good example.
If you're telling me I can only get Papaya by going to Spintex or Tesano, and one other competitor selling the same fried rice is saying that order,
just be in your comfort of your house.
Be in the comfort of your home. Just share with us your live location or whatever it is. Our delivery guy is going to call you and bring it to you. Which do you think, customers are going to, move to?
Exactly.
So businesses need to understand that the market is changing. The consumers are changing. People are having more access to information because of technology. People feel that they have more access to options.
Yeah.
You can, for Christ's sake, people even are in Ghana and they are shopping online for items abroad, outside of their geographical jurisdiction. So if you have a business here and you have a nice boutique beautiful, everything. And you say that you are in Okaishi, everybody should come to Okaishi. No. And you do not have an Instagram page where at 3 a.m. somebody is having insomnia, can't sleep, and the person is on the Instagram to just look for shirts, to just send you a message where an AI can chat with them and give them the price of the shirt. And the AI can say that, you know what, in the morning, would have a delivery guy, contact you, and then you are out of business.
Exactly.
The attention span of people on our screens is lowering as the day goes by.
Yeah. You remember there used to be a boom, I think 10 years ago, of boutiques everywhere.
Yeah.
Now people can just sit in their houses and just,
and
order
sell
things. Now, if you have it's not.
So it's like even the physical marketplace has become electronic now. Exactly. It's digital.
Yeah.
So if you do not change with the trends, you are not moving with what's trendy and strategically position yourself as a business, you're going to lose out.
Yeah, I mean, look at Amazon. Amazon doesn't have its physical store where they say that they sell things. It's almost $1 trillion value corporation, right?
Books. The Amazon Kindle.
Exactly.
Everyone was reading books, like, physical pages flipping. Somebody said, no, now we have books in like electronic forms, and it became a whole big business. So my point is, marketing is all about, to stay relevant when it comes to a business and to have sustainability, to have some level of longevity in your business operation. You just need to move with a fast moving trend.
Yeah.
There is something that is moving as a business, you need to move. And is AI. Now, most of the financial institutions have AI, platforms. Because the point is that if you're not willing to employ a 24-hour, human staff to respond to, 24-hour like issues, customer complaints, you may want to rely on an AI tool, where that AI tool is fed with, frequently asked questions with answers. And then in the very extreme situations where customers are asking for more, you can just say that, oh, we have your contact details, we reach you in the morning. In the morning means that now the human being has gone to the office to now see the complaints online.
And the follow-up.
So if you're not moving with the fast-moving trend, trust me, you are going to miss out on a lot in the market.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That is very true. The next one is about consumer behavior, right? And this is in context of Ghana. You made mention of technology moving at a pace where we need to catch up. But we are in a country where we are way behind when it comes to technology in that sense. And we have businesses in this country that need to thrive and target these consumers, right, in a certain locality in that sense, right? What do you do to entice these type of businesses to be able to get the customers? In a sense that not how many people go online and buy things in terms of we know ourselves, we know that we do this, but the majority of people don't do that. They still go to the market, they buy their food, they buy whatever they have to do and all that. But business are still not selling. Is it because the consumer behavior is not enticing? Let me phrase my question. Is it that the consumer behavior is not matching the product in that sense?
Okay, so
or is it the fact that we don't have enough purchasing power to do that?
Okay, so a simple response to what you've asked. Simple one. Know your prospective customers. It's like you need to know your prospective customers. It's very key. See, a business relationship with a customer is like a normal relationship between a man and a woman or any two entities that have a certain form of attraction for each other. A man sees a woman, and let's say in this case, the man is interested in this woman or is attracted to this woman physically.
Yeah.
So what does the man do? He takes the first step. He moves to the woman, says hi, introduces himself, and asks questions to try to get to know who the woman is. Right? Now, in the instance that the woman is already seeing someone, if you're a man who is forceful, you wouldn't just be, turned away by that response. You would still want to stick around to wait till that man messes up, and then you take his place.
Exactly.
In the case
or you offer something better.
You offer something better. Or in the instance that woman is single, you try to make her know why being single is a problem, and you are the solution to fill that gap. That is what marketing is.
I like your
marketing is. That is what it is, right? You need to understand who you are going to sell a particular solution to.
Yeah.
And the reason why you should have understood that person is that you knew that person's problem. And it was in knowing that person's problem that you came up with their solution for that particular problem.
Exactly.
If somebody tells me that I have a product and it's not selling, my first question would be, who did you intend to sell this item to?
Yeah.
Do you know that person? Are you sure that particular problem was a problem to that person? Because if there's a problem that I'm having and I'm experiencing a problem and I'm in the capacity to find a solution to that problem, if there's a solution, I will buy it.
If you're offering
I will get it. If you're offering a solution, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
You need to convince me. And that is why you cannot offer a solution without putting out what the problem is.
Yeah.
So you see, the popular, people who sell drugs in the trotro.
Oh, they're good marketers, huh?
See, they are good salesmen.
They are good salesmen. Yeah,
salespeople. Do you know why? Because they sell the problem.
Yeah.
And they even try to mimic that. They try to make you feel what the problem is like.
I find that fascinating, the way they sell their products.
Exactly. Huh? Because that is what selling is.
Yeah.
Selling is you having a solution to a problem.
Yeah.
And so if you have if you go to somebody and try to sell a certain solution and they are not seeing the problem that you are talking, they cannot relate to the problem.
They can't
then
relate
you yourself made a big mistake in your market research initially.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the whole conversation of research. And that is why in the stages of the marketing process, we have what we call product testing. You don't just, okay, I've found a problem in the market. I have a solution. I'm going out there to start selling my solution. You need to test the market. And that's why we test the market. You test the market by taking a sample of the market, which is part of research, letting them see what your solution is. And then they can even give you feedback. Oh, you need to tweak it this way. You need to see.
Yeah.
When farm milk, for example, in the days of old, we only knew of Fan Pop, Fan
Yogurt,
and Fan Yogurt.
Yeah.
Then they sat down and they were like, no, we are getting some competing brands. We want to bring some new, exciting product line extension. So they felt that they needed to bring in different flavors.
Fandango,
mango,
passion fruit, and all that.
Why did they do that? If Fan Milk didn't interrogate the market to know that the market's taste is tired with Fan Ice, Tampico, and then the Fan Pop that we had in the days of old. So we needed to bring in some new flavors. Trust me, they tested the market. They had a sample of the target market that, tasted the product to give the verdict whether the product is okay. Yeah. I'm even sure that some people even said, oh, it's too sweet, reduce the sugar. Some people said, oh, it's too milky, reduce the milk. Oh, some people said, so that is what you should do.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people now start businesses, and a lot of young people, and they start businesses because, oh, my friend is doing it, and it looks like that person is successful,
so
I need to also do it. You don't do it because you feel like, you do it because you have found out from the market that it is right, it is a problem, and you have a solution to that problem. So that's what it is. You need to know your customers. You need to know your prospective customers. You need to know the market. And in knowing the market is where you come up with strategies around segmentation.
Yeah.
You come up with strategies around targeting. You come up with strategies around positioning. That is how you thrive as a business. That's how you become successful as a business.
Yeah.
And when you talk about these things, people do not know. See, there is even knowing your environment as a business. True. Knowing your micro environment, your internal environment, knowing your macro environment. They are the pestle factors. Sometimes when you are even teaching, because sometimes I teach, when I'm teaching, level 400 master's class, and you keep repeating the same old theories and frameworks, they feel that you are overly, I'm like, you need to do it. Right now.
The fundamentals are very important.
Businesses that thought that, oh, we could leverage on digital forms of transfer. And just around the corner, you had a government that initiated e-levy. Because of e-levy, people weren't interested in digital forms of sending money. Now people wanted, if I want to pay, I will pay cash. Because when I'm paying cash, you tell me to pay 20 cedis. But when I'm paying mobile money, you are telling me to add charges because now there is e-levy. You know what? I will not deal with you digitally again. You can imagine if your whole business process, right?
But that goes on policies though, right?
So yes, so that is why you do an analysis of your external environment as a business. Political, terrain. What is happening? If today there's a civil war in Ghana, a lot of businesses will not be able to operate. They will shut down.
That's true.
COVID-19 came. Because of COVID-19, universities closed down. Now, because of that, the delivery moved from classroom, brick and mortar, to online forms of teaching. As a university, if you didn't do online, you will not get people applying to your school.
That's true.
So that is marketing. You need to look at your external environment, political, economic, social, technological, legal, environmental. You're looking at the external. In-house, internal environment. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses, opportunities, threats? What is your competitive analysis? Then now you're talking about frameworks like the Michael Porter's 5 forces. You are looking at the power of the buyers, power of the suppliers. You're looking at, threats of new entries, threat of already existing competitors. These are the things that people are refusing to look at, because when you talk about them, they tell you it is theory. But the point is, you cannot do away with these levels of analysis. I'm a marketing consultant. Businesses hire me to, tell them what's right or wrong, or what they should do when they are faced with problems. And trust me, when you go in, a lot of the time, it is just the foundational issues. They have not done a proper analysis and assessment of their environment, their stakeholders. They have not done proper stakeholder mapping. They have not done and it's on and on and on. And so it is just one problem. They'll just say, oh, I'm not getting customers. Okay, you know what? Let me sack my marketing team. Let me get new people. They are the problem. But sometimes your product is even the problem. Where you are making your product available is the problem. Your pricing strategies is a major problem. Your promotional strategies are a big problem. So I don't know how to put it, but people just misdirect what the real problem is, because they lack the proper understanding of marketing. As an essential strategic tool for business and organizational success.
It's true. What we talked about so far has been how to influence the consumer behavior, right? where the market people, the business have to be able to do their research to be able to entice the consumers to buy.
Yeah.
Has it been an instance where, let's say, consumer, let's say, doesn't need all these things you're talking about, but you find a way to make them need it? You get me? You don't need, let's say, you don't need shoes. You don't need it. You have everything in abundance, right? And someone introduces a new product, and you're like, maybe I do need that in that sense, right? How do you go about that as a marketer to be able to entice people into venturing into new products or consuming new things in that sense? Because it has to have a little bit of, let's say you have to use it's a psychological thing where you convince people that they need it and hence they get it. Because any other thing, I need food. So, when I get food, I buy. Certain things I don't need.
See,
You get me?
What you're just saying is just towing the lines of innovation. When you introduce something new in the market and people are not used to it, you need to do a lot of education to get people to realize that, oh, it's true, I need this.
It's true, you need that.
When we had the ride-hailing, platforms coming up, before then, everyone was used to going out, seeing a vehicle that is painted with some yellow somewhere, some blue
taxi,
somewhere, and then the person stops and gets the attention of the person. Person stops and negotiates with the person the distance.
Yeah.
Then people said, somebody sat down and said, innovation. Sit in the comfort of your house. Order a ride. Go to a platform. You are going to see available, cars online.
Yeah.
They will give you the prices. You don't have to negotiate with the person, the driver. You have the price. You know how much you're already getting it for. You are going, how much you're going to pay and everything. And you book the car. The car comes, picks you. You're done. You rate. Another example, I remember a typical case of, the vacuum cleaner. When the innovation of a vacuum cleaner came up, it came up where you couldn't see the dirt that was being collected in the vacuum cleaner. So at the time, the story I heard was that somebody wanted what we call product development, product development. So there's an already existing product and you want to tweak something about that product to make it sell more in the market. Yeah. Somebody said, okay, why don't we have a transparent collector so that as people are doing it, they will be able to see. When they conducted a market research, people said they didn't want that kind of vacuum cleaner where they can be seen the dirt.
Yeah.
The guy took the risk, manufactured the ones that were transparent, and those ones sold. So there are cases where the market research can be telling you one thing, and as an entrepreneur or as a business owner,
you take a risk.
You take a risk to do something opposite and sell that thing to the market aggressively.
Yeah.
So, and mind you, you are not the only person in the market. You are competing with your with your competitors, right?
So you have to be innovative.
So you have to be innovative. You need to change. So if everybody is used to one way of doing something, and you want to take the risk, and maybe you are making your money, but you're not making enough. But now you feel that you want to make more, and you want to take that risk and do something new. You just have to hope that it works. Because sometimes your research findings may tell you something different.
Exactly.
And you may decide that you want to do something different. So this goes to say that customers need some form of education. When you have a new product, somebody may feel that I don't need this. Why do it? It's like insurance. When I come to you and I tell you that you need to buy a family life insurance when your father dies, your mother dies. Nobody wants to hear that their mother will die. Nobody wants to hear that their father will die. It's the lowest point for everybody. Exactly. You cannot go to somebody telling them that when your mother dies, when your father dies. But what do the salespeople in insurance say? They talk about the claims. They talk about in the instance where you are not financially ready because it is an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
It happens, your mom dies, it happens, your father dies. It's an unfortunate situation. You can come for claims. So that is the selling point. UT Bank, everybody was giving loans. Every bank was giving. It says, oh no,
48
we will
hours.
give you loans in less than 48
48
hours.
yeah.
That was the catch.
That was the catch line, yeah.
Because they're saying that everybody is giving you loans, but they are stressing you before they give you loans. They are trying to know what was the latest member of the family who died, where are the collaterals? Where?
Yeah.
So some banks said, okay, you know what? UT said, oh, we'll give you less than 48 hours. Some banks even went ahead to say, we'll give you loan, no collateral.
No collateral, yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
You see, and somebody will even say, oh, we'll give you loan, no guarantor. You see, all these things are things that people are doing to try and tweak an already existing product and be new, to the market. It refreshes and brings something new to the brand. It doesn't make the brand look boring.
Would you say that's also influencing consumer behavior in that sense, where you tweak it so consumer you get a lot more people?
Yes, you get a lot more people. I'm sure that if you go to Uber right now, you go to Yango, you go to Bolt, right? They would give you a demographic, breakdown of the people or the type of people who are, using the app. I don't remember the last time I took a taxi.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah.
Your car breaks down.
It's
and
convenient.
It has
Anywhere
become
you are,
so convenient. It's become, and it's like, somebody's like, why are you waiting for a ride for 5 minutes when you can literally just step out and do and you get a taxi? And it's like, the product has now changed our behavior. True. We have adapted to it as though it is the new normal.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, now you are just used to, at your convenience, you order the ride, and then the ride comes to you and picks you up and takes you. So, I mean, to some large extent, innovation in the market has a way of, or plays a role in influencing consumer behavior to adjust to, what that product is.
Yeah. Lastly, let's talk about social media and its effects on marketing, right?
Yeah.
Would you say, with the, meteoric rise of social media in our age, right? Would you say it's actually reduced the cost of marketing to a point where it's easy to reach loads of people with just a click? Where someone can be in their house and unlucky for you, they can go viral and they reach millions of people, and you can turn that into a business because we have a lot of people.
Yeah.
We even didn't talk about human beings being their own product, where we sell ourselves. We have all these influencers. We have all these people who are selling themselves and all that sense, right? And this has been very prevalent in the social media age, where everybody's trying to sell something. Even we are selling something at the end of the day, where we are selling a lot of things. We're using the social media platform, be it for Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X, all these TikTok, all these platforms are now in a position where if you cannot go without them if you want to be able to sell, and it's cost effective as well, right? And how has it changed the dynamics of marketing? Because it's always evolving in that sense, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, we are on the social media
age.
So, what as a marketing consultant, what's your take on this?
So, social media is a great tool. Trust me, it gives you the opportunity to reach a lot of people at the same time.
Yeah.
Which was not something traditional media would have given you.
Exactly, yeah.
If I published in the news, in the dailies and newspaper, it is only for the periods that I paid for that it will be there.
Yeah.
Social media has a way of storing information, and storing data. Social media makes you reach out to not only a lot of people, but people from different areas, because we have one thing that connects us.
Exactly.
Is the internet and access to it. So once you have someone in a jurisdiction where the social media can operate, person can have access, possibly, to your ad. So it's brought a lot to us. It's brought a lot to businesses. It's brought a lot to marketing. It's brought a lot to, particularly for promotional strategy. Now, in marketing, we have something we call the promotional mix, right? Advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, public relations, direct marketing. Now, these are strategies that you look at as elements or bases that you bring together for an entire promotional strategy. Now, because of marketing, look at advertising as one of the promotional mix. Because of social media, advertising is not only limited to traditional media now, but you are looking at digital forms. You're looking at, new media, social media. So social media is put businesses in a positive position. I mean, it has a positive and it has its downside as well. That a lot of people have a lot of access to options. So if we didn't have social media, probably everybody will know everything that they know that is in close proximity to them. Because of social media, I know something that is happening in a different part of the world. So I know other shops. I know other options.
Competition is high.
Your competition is high. Your competition is not just in Ghana, but your competition is over. So if you're a business in Ghana, you think that, you are selling tiles. Trust me, because of social media and internet, somebody can have access to a tile company in Italy
or China, it's going to be way cheaper.
And tell that person to get it shipped to them. So social media has its pros, it has its cons. Also,
of course,
if gone were those days where a customer is aggrieved, they are not happy with the product, they have to drive to the office of the business to report. Any other customer may not hear about it. It's just the customer and then the business. Social media now
you just have to make a post.
Post something and say that I'm not happy with MTN, I'm not happy with Vodafone, I'm not happy with Need Fufu, I'm not happy with this, I just ate this. They will take a photo. So now social media is spread like fire. There's what we call virality. The viral effect of news. The viral effect of, so you better be sure that you are managing the expectations of, your customers. You are meeting the expectations of your customers. Because if not, there can be a whole class action on social media against you. Me too. Me too. It's true. Me too.
I've seen a lot of businesses go down because of that.
Social media.
Reviews,
bad reviews. So social media has brought not only we have electronic word of mouth. So before I recommend a product, I can go on Twitter and say that I use this. It is bad. Nobody should buy. It goes viral. Next thing you know, your sales starts to drop. Because somebody influential has made a post, or maybe just an ordinary person has made a post, and it has gone viral. So those are the things. In the past, businesses used to advertise using only some mediums, words. Now, because of social media, you're having short videos that we call memes. We call reels.
30-second, 1 minute.
30 seconds video. Get ready with me. Because of social media, there's opportunity, to promote in diverse ways. There's opportunity to meet your customers in diverse ways.
You're not in the influencer market where if you want to be able to, let's say, boost your business in a way, some of the businesses hire influencers. And they know how to, again, influence consumer behavior.
They have the eyeballs. They have people who are stacked onto their pages. So because of that, everybody says, okay, let's use that person to promote our product. Because the moment they post, you are having over 10K within 30 minutes. That person is somebody who gets a lot of people see. And you see, marketing is all about sustaining that interest in the mind.
Yeah.
You see, when we have something we call the consumer buying process, which says that, first of all, a consumer recognizes a need. And after recognizing the need, they search for information. After they search for information, they evaluate alternatives. And then they make the purchase decision. And then there's post-purchase assessment. There's what we call the evoke set. When I think of a problem and I want a solution, are you the first brand that comes in the mind of the customer? If you are the first brand that comes in the mind of the customer, is it a positive impression that they have of your brand? Is it a negative impression that they have of your brand? Right? So somebody will say that, I need to buy a toothpaste. The first brand that comes to mind,
Pepsodent.
is it Pepsodent? Is it Colgate?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it a Sensodyne?
Yeah.
Is it what is it? Right? Is it Close Up?
Close Up.
So,
the
question is,
even detergent. What do you say?
Detergent.
So Omo, Ariel, all these.
So the point is that everybody, top of mind awareness, Toma, every brand is fighting to be in that subconscious mind of a customer. That the moment a customer thinks of a problem and they want a solution, you are the first brand that pops up in their head. So online, social media, as much as possible, if I'm seeing every day, I open my phone, I see Fidelity Bank. Every day I'm seeing promo of Fidelity Bank all over the place. Today, if I decide I want to open a bank account and save money, Fidelity Bank may be one of my first considerations.
Because it's always in your eye.
Seeing it. Fuel station, it's what? Allied oil. You are seeing Guel, Allied oil, Allied. So once
you get a car,
you say Allied, you have a car.
Exactly.
You are even strategically, you even now start to know the various outlets around your routes that you use.
Good.
And strangely, you would have your fuel always coming low around
that side.
A filling station that you prefer to buy from. So it's social media has been a great blessing to businesses, has been a great blessing to consumers as well, from both sides. Both the producers are able to tell consumer behavior, complaints. You can easily get data now for marketing analysis. On social media.
Information is very
data. You can easily, get everything that you need on social media. And it's been a great tool. So it's just that technology has its disruptive nature. When it is fast changing and things can easily replace other things, you may be then. I know a lot of people are complaining that AI is disruptive because it's, taking people's jobs.
That's why you adapt, right?
You adapt because so if you are somebody,
you have to stay, it's not going anywhere.
If you are somebody in the business of, let's say, transcribing, you listen to an audio and write the words. There are now AI apps that are doing that.
In minutes, it's done.
Seconds, and it's getting you information all over the place. So my point is that it's been a great tool, and businesses out there should leverage on it and use it to, strategically position their brands, for organizational success and for profitability.
That's good. Bro, I think our time is up.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you for coming. We should do this another, because I think there's more things we need to talk about.
Marketing is
very broad.
It's very, very, very broad. But I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, we should do this.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, bro.